We've got two special back-to-back sections now. The first up is Bechara Saab, CEO of Mobio Interactive, a new emerging AI-powered wellness, meditation, and mindfulness application. They really are creating something absolutely fantastic. A quick 10-minute insight from Bechara on the future of his company. Following that, Sarah introduces and interviews Brian Chapon, the founder and CEO of Centered, a new wellness travel-focused app just launched this year and already has secured venture capital funding. Two incredible companies going places, and look out for them in 2021. Enjoy.
My name is Dr. Bechara Saab, and I am the Chief Scientist and the CEO of Mobio Interactive, a digital therapeutics company. I think we can all agree that there's a lot out there if you want to exercise. A lot of gyms, a lot of programs, a lot of content. The concern isn't having options, but rather getting people to make use of the options, the technologies, the services that we provide these people. That's the challenge. And in order to address this, I'm going to share some unpublished data from one of our randomized controlled trials done with one of our digital therapeutics. But before I share those data, I think I should describe a little bit about what this digital therapeutic is. First, a digital therapeutic, that term refers to software that has been clinically validated and is used to deliver a medical benefit. In our case, we developed the first medical grade meditation platform, mobile platform, known as Mindfulness, which was able to beat placebo in increasing stress resilience, improving mood, decreasing stress, increasing intentional control relative to placebo in people that report suffering from anxiety. And since then, we have also discovered that Mindfulness is as effective as group psychotherapy for cancer survivors. But the clinical validation is only one of two main factors that set Mindfulness apart from other similar products in this space. And the second is the ability to objectively quantify well-being. We use computer vision in order to make use of the mobile device camera in order to find out what is somebody's level of stress. The first thing we do is identify a human face. Then we track that face in real time to remove motion artifacts. We find regions of the skin on the face that are uniform in color. And then we track 6 different wavelengths of light for their rhythmicity. And then through a statistical algorithm, we're able to pull out heart rate and heart rate variability, which we then divide into the high and the low frequency spectrum. And this information is then fed into a neural network, and that neural network spits out an objective assessment of somebody's stress. And in under 30 seconds, we can achieve accuracy of over 80%. And this is possible because we're tuning into the autonomic nervous system, which controls heart rate variability. And heart rate variability is readable from the face because as your heart beats, your arteries dilate and contract. And this induces a subtle change in the color of your skin. In addition to the work that we've done with people with anxiety and in cancer patients, we have a number of clinical trials ongoing in pediatric concussion and obesity, in other affect disorders, a lot of work definitely in psycho-oncology, starting work in maternal health as well. But we're very interested in blurring the line between mental therapy and performance enhancement. There isn't anybody who's ever lived that couldn't have benefited or couldn't benefit today by enhancing cognitive ability or emotional awareness, general stability. These are things that can enhance every aspect of our lives, including our ability to exercise and our endurance. So is our hypothesis. So in a randomized controlled trial that we've completed recently, we took participants, students from the University of Toronto, where the research was conducted, and we put them on an exercise bike. And we said, go till you can't go anymore. Now, this exercise bike is progressively more difficult to cycle on the longer you're on it. It's like cycling up a hill, but the hill continually gets steeper and steeper and steeper and steeper. Eventually, no matter how fit you are, you can't go any further, and you fall off the bike. And then we divided everybody into two different groups. And we either had them train with all mindfulness, or we gave them a control app, a placebo, something that we told them should help them do better the next time we put them on the bike, so that we could control for the expectation effects. We could have a true placebo, an active control. And we also conducted a variety of medical questionnaires to examine their overall well-being and how mindful they are. And after 3 weeks, we brought them back and we had them work on the exercise bike again to see how far they could go. The first thing that we then had needed to analyze was, did all mindfulness actually have the intended effect of building mindfulness up in these individuals? The term for mindfulness is dispositional mindfulness. It's made up of a number of different factors. Things like not worrying, or having emotional awareness, or having an understanding of your body, trusting what your body is saying, having objectivity, being able to control your attention. All these aspects feed into a term called dispositional mindfulness. And we saw indeed, as we have seen before in other randomized controlled trials, that using increases dispositional mindfulness. So with that understood, we then looked and said, okay, well, how about how far people can cycle on this bike? And after unblinding the data, we found that training with all mindfulness led to 14 seconds extra on the bike, on average, relative to placebo. Now, people are on this bike for anywhere from 8 to maybe 15, 16, 17 minutes even. So an extra 14 seconds isn't a huge deal. It's about 2% relative to placebo greater. A 2% increase in your endurance is huge for a professional athlete, but these are not professional athletes. These are university students that exercise, according to their reporting, about 3 times a week. So they're of relatively decent fitness, but they're by no means in the category where a 2% change in their endurance is going to be the difference between winning a gold medal or not. But it's still quite interesting that we're able to enhance their ability to have physical endurance using a mental program. But the real interesting thing that came out of this study was something totally unexpected. And it really jumped out at us and turns out to be the most statistically significant finding of the whole study. And that's the emotional well-being of the participants immediately after they finish the exhausting experience of pushing themselves on this bike until they can't go any further. And here we see, again, relative to placebo, and that's very important, that there is a dramatic improvement in the emotional well-being of the participants if they were trained through the app on mindfulness skills. And so what we think may be happening here, what we think might be important, is that we're able to improve the feeling that somebody gets from high intensity exercise. I love high intensity exercise. It makes me high. But for most people that aren't used to it, it doesn't have that type of effect. It's exhausting. It's literally exhausting, draining. And yet, if we get these people to train in mindfulness, the quality of this experience, the effect that it has on their brains, changes. And with a scalable tool like we think that there's huge potential for applications within the entire fitness industry. Really hope that some of this was interesting for people. I really hope to connect with some of you soon, and I invite you to reach out to me or to other members of my team. Thank you.